on-page SEO. What do you got to do in the content and on the page and on the website that you publish that'll help your content get ranked higher?
All right. Let's rock and roll. This is my kind of stuff here. The whole thing is I love on-page stuff. It's where I kick ass. Anyways, your keyword, obviously. So I'm going to try to rank for, very broad example, make money online. Of course, I'm not really going to try that. But you want to have your keyword included in quite a few places. And for those listening, you can always come back and listen or watch this later. You want to pay attention though. Is number one, you want to have your keyword in your domain. Now, I don't mean makemoneyonline.com, but you would want something like learn.com/blog/make-money-online. So you want to have your keyword in your URL as your number one thing. That's going to be what you want to do first. It's telling Google, this is what this article is about, how to make money online. Number two is you want to include your keyword in your title tag. I mean, your meta title. It's going to be from the SEO tool. You want to have your keyword towards the beginning of your title tag, make money online. Now here's the thing, is you don't want to just add that keyword. You want to use that as your CTA or your call to action as well. So I would see what other people are using, and I would try to write something clever. It has to be within 55 characters with that keyword towards the beginning. So I might write something like how to make money online, comma, 10 proven methods, or my 10 best tricks, or my 10 top ways. And you can even test that with other tools to see which works the best. But you want to try to get your keyword towards the beginning of that title tag, and again, use it as your CTA as well, your call to action as well. Next up, you want to include your keyword in your meta description. That's going to be, when you search for a keyword, you see the title, the link for the website, then you see that content below, which is usually between 155 and 250 characters or so, depending on what Google's showing. Excuse me. Now, having the keyword there does not help you rank per se, but if you have the keyword there, it's going to make that keyword bold in the search results in that description, and it's going to draw more eyes to it. So it's going to help you get more clicks to your site. So again, use that as a CTA. Get people drawn into your website. You want to get that click. You want to keep them happy and keep them on your site. So I might do something a bit longer, how to make money online, my 10 best proven methods for 2019, perfect for beginners. Again, you want to add that copywriting element to it because you want to get that click. You don't just add the keyword and leave it. You're not gonna get any clicks. Next up, you want to have your keyword in your H1 tag, your header tag. Now, for WordPress, most WordPress sites will automatically add your website's title, the page title, as your H1 tag. Most do that now, so you don't have to worry about that so much. I'd say 99% of new WordPress themes do that. But don't add more than H1 tags. So good to only have the one. Period. That's your main focus one. Although you do want to add your keyword into maybe a couple of H3 to H4 tags as well. And this is where it kind of gets a bit tricky. You want to see what your competitors are doing. And here's how the header tags help as well, is they kind of help with that nice visual flow. Again, credit to Anik on that term. The header tags break up your content. They make it easier for, and ideally, like with an email, you want people to be able to simply scan through with their mouse quickly and just glance at things to get an idea what the content's about. Those header tags are great for that. And it's okay to include your header tags or longer tail variations in those header tags as well. And I don't really have any examples off the top of my head, but if you go to jefflenny.com, you can look at any of my content pieces there, for example, you can see how I use those. But again, you can also look at your competitors on page one, see what they're doing for that as well. Next up, I mentioned at the very beginning, your keyword density 10 years ago was 3 to 5%. Keyword density still makes the difference depending on the niche and the keyword, but it's never something I focus on ever. Don't try to cram your keywords in there. I will include my main keyword in the first paragraph, the first 100 words in the content. I will include it naturally within the content, maybe one or two other times. But the thing is, Google, you've already told Google what the article is about by adding it to your URL, your title, your description, your header tag, etc. So that's not really as necessary these days. So it's right naturally included a few times in there naturally, and that's typically going to be okay for when you're starting out. And then you can always optimize it later based on what your competitors are doing. In fact, I'm going to get into an on-page tool in a bit that tells you what you should be doing for keyword density, if you got a moment for tools there. But next up is you want to do internal linking. And I think I gave you a hint on this a couple of years ago. It helped you a lot with AnikSingal.com back in the day. But if you look at Wikipedia, if you look at the Wikipedia listing for Ford, for example, Ford Motors, when Detroit's mentioned, it's going to link to Detroit on Wikipedia.com. When Henry Ford is mentioned, it's going to link to him. When the city he was born in is mentioned, it's going to link to that city. Internal linking is a great way to not only keep people on your site and keep them engaged and give them quality information, but it's also going to help pass on your authority SEO wise to other pages on your site. So if I've got, for example, amazing bunch of backlinks coming to my article on how to make money online without investment, which I do, by the way, if I add internal links to other posts on my site from that article that's high authority, it's actually going to help pass that authority from that page to other pages on my site. So internal linking is ridiculous. That's how Wikipedia ranks for everything, by the way. It's going to be important for keeping people engaged on your site. It's going to be important for helping to build your authority. And it's going to do that for you as well. And then something else you want to do, and if I'm talking too fast, let me know here, but it's also good to add an external backlink to an authority in that industry. Here's the thing, if I'm, for example, writing about making money on Shopify, for example, I'm also going to maybe drop a backlink to not Wikipedia per se, but maybe Shopify.com. The whole idea is Google wants to understand, in my opinion at least, that you don't care about keeping people on your site. You simply want to give them the best information. So most SEOs will tell you, myself included, to get at least one or two external links to authority websites in that industry or niche on your page, and always make those open up in a new tab. You never want to give up that click and have them leave your site. Always have external links open up in a new tab. So that's going to tell Google, hey Google, listen, I simply care about giving people the best information, even if they're visiting another website to get something. And do you have a question?
Yeah, I do. Can that external backlink be an affiliate link, or should it be a raw link?
Yeah, I don't know. I do a mixture of both. It can be. Yes, I think that's okay. I know with Amazon sites, for example, some people would say just, yeah, as I said, I don't know. I don't have a definite answer.
Sure.
I'll do a mixture of both, so to be sure.
Wow, amazing.
I don't know.
I'm writing these down, Jeff. So it's like 9 on-page techniques already, and you are not talking too fast, my man. Keep going.
I've got more, by the way. I can go on.
Yeah, keep going.
Next up is you want to add an image, at least one image to your blog post. So again, the image should be your named according to your keyword. So when you download or save the image, never steal images from other websites. When you create your own image or buy one, you want to name it according to your keyword. So make-money-online.jpg, for example. I'm going to add the image into my site. And with WordPress, it's really easy to add some more information to that image. Google is getting better at reading images, but it can't really. So you want to add what's called an alt tag. It's going to be text that only Google can read or see that kind of says what this image is. So for example, this is a yellow school bus. So Google knows that's what that picture is. So in that example, I would write, make money online as my alt tag as well. If that makes sense. So that's kind of the very bare bones basics you should be doing. Probably 9 or 10 good things there. And if I can kind of go into a tiny bit more of what I do with a new post, is I am huge in the CRO, conversion rate optimization, because you can take your existing traffic, you can double or triple your sales, you can double or triple your conversion rates easily if you know what you're doing. And again, I love using your phrase, visual flow. Thank you again for that. But if you look at any of my stuff, if you look at Neil Patel's stuff, for example, and you're going to see that I will have an image or a video or a GIF every 300 words. I'm going to space out my content with bullet point lists, numbered lists, the header tags. You don't want a big wall of text. People are going to get bored and leave quickly. You want to have engaging content that looks like it's worth paying attention to. But SEO, CRO is something that a lot of people overlook. I've had people that outranked me before for keywords, and they couldn't convert for anything because their content was crap, it wasn't written well, and it just had a very boring look and appeal. It didn't look like it was worth paying attention to. So that's something I will put time into as well. And then of course, content length. Content length is an important thing people don't always talk about. I would say aim for 1,000 words minimum. I try to go for between 1,000 and 1,500 words for a regular type post. If you want to do a mega big massive post, that's fine too. I don't go above 3,000 words myself usually, because I typically get bored with those, but that's just me. Again, you might find other people say other things, but I would aim for 1,000 to 1,500 words a minimum for most posts I know.
Man.
That was a mouthful.
I think I'm back on the floor. Count it to 8 this time, Jimmy. Count to 8. All right. Wow. Is that it?
For the basic on-page stuff, yeah.
All right, basic.
So.
All right. Look, that's a lot of stuff. I'll forget to do some of this. Do you use any tools to kind of confirm if you did it right? Are there any tools that come under the on-page side?
I use a tool it's called Page Optimizer Pro. It's an on-page tool that actually check this out. It's pretty cool. I can take a look at a keyword I want to rank for on page 1. I can look at my competitors that are ranking for that keyword, and I can enter those keywords into this tool. And I also add my website as well. The tool is going to look at everything those people are doing, and it's going to give me an average and a maximum of what I should be doing. So it's going to tell you, okay, Jeff, you need to add 1,000 more words of content. You need to include your keyword one more time in your title tag. You need to remove your keyword from your description tag. You need to add your main keyword 13 more times into the content.
Wow.
You need to add 55 more long tail variations into the content.
Does SEMrush offer something like this? I swear I've heard this before.
I don't know. I don't think so, but I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But I don't believe so. But that's they will. I don't know. I don't pay for that tool. I'm not sure. I don't believe so, though, but don't quote me on that. But there's as far as Pop is the main one that does that. There are some others for SEO. Core SEO, I love Core, by the way. It's a lot more advanced. But Pop is the main one that I use. So SEMrush, you can see what other people are ranking for, and you can find different keyword opportunities. But it's not going to really give you those. I guess they'll give you a keyword eye. It's just based on basic on-page things you should be doing for that keyword. But as far as I know, it does not pull in your competitors' data like Pop does. Page Optimizer Pro is what it stands for.
All right. So one last question, and I want to move into off-page SEO because that was awesome, and thanks for giving us a great tool there too. Before we get to off-page SEO, you mentioned something earlier. You kind of breathed past it real quick, and that was that you submit your page to Google. Talk to me about that. Like, so when I publish a website, do I have to actively go out there and tell Google, like, hey, can you please come check? Or every article I post, do I have to do that? Is there a tool you use for that?
Yes and no. You don't have to. When you build a new website, one thing you should be doing, to stay in Google's graces, you should be adding that tool, adding your website into Google Analytics and Google Search Console. That's going to give you valuable data. And you also want to add your sitemap to Google Search Console. So when you add your sitemap right away, that will tell Google, hey, my site is live, index it. But what you can also do, and I'm going to take off my sweater, getting warm here. What you can also do, though, is you can also, if you add a new URL that you want to see ranked quickly, you can go to Google's crawl tool. It's an on-page crawling tool. It will actually submit that keyword, that URL to Google's index, so it can be crawled and rank a lot quicker. So if I build a new content piece right away, for example, and I want to see where it ranks right away, I can submit that to Google's index using the tool I'm using, the Search Console, and it's going to be indexed within 30 seconds to a couple of hours.
So do I just go to Google and type in Google Search Console to find this thing? Okay.
But again, you do need to have your website added in the account. But yeah, you just go to Google Search Console. You want to create an account with your Gmail account, and you want to add your website to both Search Console and Google Analytics. I can't really go too much into that because there's a lot to it, but there's tutorials online and on YouTube. But yeah, so you can ping your blog. So when you add a new blog, you do not have to submit it via that tool for a new blog post. It's going to find it eventually on its own. The only reason you would do that is if you make a major change, or if you just want to see where it ranks right away. Typically, when a website's indexed in Google, and again, don't quote me on this, but you're going to have your entire site crawled once every month at least, at a minimum. Google does visit sites that publish content a lot more frequently and more often. So on one of my sites, I can post something and have it ranked immediately without even doing anything. Other sites, I might not be crawled for 3 or 5 days. So
that's crazy.
But you don't have to ping to Google every time you make a new post. So don't worry about that. You're still going to be found. Just make sure you do have it in Search Console and Google Analytics as well.
Thanks for listening to The Fighting Entrepreneur with your host, Anik Singal.